have this opening on the board.
It's going for modern.
The problem is if you have like a three-way playoff where they all have to play each other, it gets a bit complicated, doesn't it? Especially if they draw.
It's going for the hippo.
That's what I said. I said that earlier today. If you the must-win game with black, it's a good choice to play the modern and just get a weird kind of position where there's no piece exchanges.
It's not even the main modern. He's just he's playing like a hippo.
But Adams has a great record. I've seen him, like when I was younger, I've seen him win a lot of great games against these kind of slightly dubious setups. He's very good at attacking with white.
He already knows what setup he's going for here. He might play bishop b3, he might play bishop f4, he could play knight d2. He's gone for bishop f4.
Bishop f4 is a great move. Great shout there, Nick. What about maybe like a6 by black or e5 might be possible?
Possibly e5, yeah.
B6 is a good shout. I think after B6, I might expect something like knight d2 or even queen d2. But queen d2 obviously relegates the knight, so I'm not sure. But he has got knight d2. Knight d2, maybe the idea knight f1. Knight f1 surely now.
I'm not sure if he'll play knight f1 to be honest.
No, he's got queen c2. Good move. Defended that. Okay, maybe c5, but no, c5 is impossible because it drops. Hard to see a move for black here.
E5 actually. Maybe.
E5. Maybe h6 is also an option, but h6 looks a bit weird. He's gone for h6, strangely.
I mean, he's trying to keep all the tension in the position, which is understandable.
Maybe rook ad1 or h.
I mean, in blitz you can
h3.
You can play most things in blitz.
Okay, maybe e5 by black. Or even g5 followed by e5 and then knight g6 is one option. I might go with g5 here. In a must-win game. Just take the risk that he can't sack.
You're going to go for g5, knight g6 ideas?
Knight f6 is better by Conquest. It was a bad suggestion by me. I think my suggestions are getting worse and worse. I'm just getting too tired now to come up with any good suggestions. I'm going to just rely on you, Nick.
I don't
know. What do you think?
I'll just rely on Mickey.
What was I saying about Adams? He always puts his rooks in the centre like Karpov used to do, like his hero Anatoly Karpov. Rook ad1. I hope David Howe comes back soon. We got a comment in the chat. I agree with you. I'd like to see David Howe play the British. He would give Mickey more than a run for his money, I think. You know, we want to see the top players. We want to see David Howe play the British Championships. Dave, if you're watching, please come back. Luke and Shane, please come back. We need you guys in the British Championships. Makes the tournament a stronger tournament. Queen d7 by black.
So your tip of a 2,500 player to win is...
It's looking a bit precarious at this point.
It's hanging by a thread.
But it's got this far, which is quite impressive in itself, right? It's got this far. Okay. Bishop h2. And now maybe a move like d5 by black. At some point, d5 allows knight e5. So Adams in control. Maybe rook c8 by Stuart Conquest.
Adams might consider e5 at some point as well.
Problem is rook c8 followed by c5. There's always dc and then rook d8, rook a8. Yeah.
Just getting ready for some central.
E5 feels like a decent try. I think by white. It's time to act.
He might move his light square bishop first.
Yeah.
You know what he's like this. He's moved
bishop
it first.
d3, yeah, solid.
It's not taking any risks.
Not taking any risks. Maybe e5 is coming. I don't see a good plan for black. Maybe c5. You need to do something. I would go g5 actually. g5, knight g6. You need to do something. You can't just
when your knight goes to g6, then you have to watch out for e5.
Yeah, I think g5 actually doesn't work in a specific position. I want to do c5 and just make the position dynamic, right? Oh yeah, good call. He's played another move. He's played queen c8. Just keeping the position tense. Maybe running Mickey short of time and then, trying to strike.
So you're going to play queen a8, do you think? Put in the corner.
That's a good try. That's actually a good try. I would go e5 now, but I think we're going to see e5 here by Adams. He knows, he has great sense of when to act. He can't wait forever. No, he can. He's got knight c4. Yeah, good shout, Jack. So after knight c4, you're queen a8. What happens then? Maybe e5 anyway.
You're going to just allow, you can't take on f3 straight away, can you? Because then they take on f6.
Maybe he wants queen a8, knight fd2. just defending everything. And then if d5, you can just put a knight on e5.
Maybe you can move the f6 knight and play f5 if
Queen a8,
white plays knight d2.
Promising for black.
It's got a knight. Yeah, I wanted to try and get f5 in, a bit like Gawain played against Mickey.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that great for white now. I mean, well, it's okay, of course. Maybe knight d2, knight fd2 I would consider.
And then I guess Stuart's
with the idea of
aiming
bishop
for
e2
f5.
as well at some point, right? You have bishop e2 options. No, he's gone queen e2. Like Boris Spassky was said, put the queen on e2. Another former another famous Soviet ex-world chess champion died recently. Boris Spassky always said, put the queen on e2.
I don't think you
It's the
can
best
play
square for
f5
it.
now. And then he takes
Yeah, so
f5,
it's
it's
a
too dangerous.
prophylaxis against f5 because now, Nick, you're going to drop this pawn. In fact, there's probably better moves like g4 actually, possibly. Okay, we've had more moves. We've had more moves, people. Let's update the board.
He's played queen a8.
You've played your queen a8 idea. Some moves quickly now. Queen e3 possibly.
Mickey's just keeping it solid, isn't he?
No, he's gone knight back to d2. Yeah, very hard to beat. It's probably one of the hardest challenges in chess. Win on demand against Michael Adams with black. Probably the only harder one would be winning against Magnus Carlsen with black, right?
But that's not the only harder one. There's other
There's
top players.
Yeah, but he's one of the most solid players, I would say, Michael Adams.
Would
A lot of them are quite solid.
if black wants to play f5, he's probably going to have to try and put rook on e8, but he might have to play a6 first to stop any bishop b5
I think
stuff.
he could have gone e5 there, Nick, and just said, look, I've got that square.
Yeah, I just don't think he's
Problem
playing
is
for
you
that
could
plan.
take and then go knight c4.
I don't think he's playing for e5. I think he's going to try and play f5. Okay,
Bishop a6, very solid move. So he wants to make a perpetual bishop c6, bishop b5. He's happy to do that.
Maybe rook d8, and try and play f5.
Hard to say how black can make progress. It's very solid by Michael Adams. He just wants to play a very simple position where
It looked like he was about to take, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd like to take him that much. I'd probably rather let white take me. Otherwise, the white queen comes into your position.
He played rook fe8, similar to your idea. He wants to go f5.
But yeah, f5 doesn't make as much sense if you move the f rook. Maybe he's trying some other move.
He's traded. Yeah, Adams is just playing ultra solid, like Petrosian style chess. Another ex-Soviet world champion used to play the Torre attack. This looks like a position from the Torre attack, where black has very few chances to win the game. e5 now, actually creating a decisive threat at g4. I think black's been too slow. That's why I wanted to go e5 earlier, just gain some space on the king side. Now, g4 is coming. This looks all over already. Like, sorry? Right. Oh, yeah, Jack spotted a
nice
lovely
tactic.
tactic with this. Bishop takes d6, rook takes d6, queen e5. And that's probably going to win material. However, Stuart Conquest is still thinking, so we're not sure what he's going to play, but this looks like knight d5 looks too slow, knight d5. And then there's stuff with queen e4. So I think this is winning already. I think he's missed e5. I think he's too slow here. I think rook fe8 was too slow a move. And this seems to be winning already for white.
I think rook d8 would have been
He's gone bishop
stronger.
f8. He's blundered this tactic. Even g4. G4 just feels completely over, actually, Nick, because like that knight and g7 don't even bother to win the pawn.
I think Jack's
I
tactic
think
is
Jack's
quite
tactic
good.
is good, though.
The g4
He's
is
just gonna
slightly
do it.
weakening.
He's just going to do it. g4, knight g7. I don't know. It looks resignable for black. g4, knight e7, knight e4. But I like... I'm sure Adams has spotted that tactic. I think he's just wondering whether
There's no line where you trap the queen there. Is there? If takes, bishop takes, queen, check f6,
what I
queen
wondered
takes,
about.
rook, knight d5. Does that trap the queen?
That's what I wondered about.
Let me just quickly just look at that. Can I really quickly put it on the board? So if you play this tactic,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a possible disaster?
It's gone for my G4. It's just positional domination. This is just horrible. 94. This is just horrible. This is squash 1-0. I mean, you could resign this position already. This is just your knight on G7 is just relegated to like passive. This is what I said before, that he's got a tremendous record with his classical style of chess. He's got a tremendous record, Mark Adams, against the modern defense. Queen E3 feels like a try. It's a desperation by Conquest. Knight G8, covering the hold. There's also Knight F6 anyway. You can even go Knight F6 anyway, Nick, because if you
can't take it,
the knight's trapped.
Knight F6 looks really unpleasant. Because even after you play rook, even then you still can't take the knight.
Still can't take knight. So I think this is just a technically winning position for white. Queen E3 is another good option. So Mark Adams is thinking about this position. There's many good options for white. He's gone Queen E3. Yeah, this looks huge. Queen E3 threatening Queen F4. I mean, this is the modern gone wrong. This is like not enough counterplay for black. Queen F4 is coming. Knight F6 is coming. He's gone for Bishop E7. Okay. Not a bad stab. There is Knight F6 though. Again, Nick, Knight F6, because H6 is hanging in. You do have that option, but I don't think he'll go for it just yet. But Queen F4, there is G5, and if Queen takes F7, there's Rook F8, and the Knight on F3 is possibly hanging. So you could go Queen F4, G5, and then sack a Knight, but I think that's an unnecessary idea. So possibly Knight F6 will be played. Maybe. I think maybe Queen E3 was slightly inaccurate, and actually the immediate Knight F6 was even stronger, because then he would have had to go Rook E7, and then he wouldn't have had this Bishop E7 idea.
Yeah, then he would have been quite boxed up, wouldn't he?
He'd have been very boxed up. Still looking very bad for... Even ideas like after Bishop E7, there's even ideas of taking on D6 and maybe going D5 is sometimes possible, right? But, okay. Adams is thinking... Bishop F4 is another candidate move.
I guess black has to play G5 then.
Huge space.
Nothing bad happens.
Huge space advantage for white, right? Bishop G3.
Playing slowly.
Very unpleasant position for Conquest. Has to win this game. Rook F8. But now Knight F6 maybe. I keep wanting to go. I just like attacking.
It's tempting, isn't it? Knight F6.
A very tempting move, Knight F6. Just to get the Queen to H6. And you got Knight G5, so you got line like Knight F6. Knight takes F6. He takes F6. Bishop takes F6. Queen H6. King G8. Knight G5. Bishop takes G5. Queen takes G5. Dark squares are weak.
Yeah, I think Knight F6 actually could be strong.
This here now. King G8 is forced, Knight G5, threatening mates is probably forced as well. This kind of position must be winning for white. Too weak on the dark square. There you got Queen F3.
It's gone Bishop H4.
Bishop H4.
Still playing on the dark squares.
More sensible decision. G5 now by Conquest, but G5 is positionally extremely ugly. But his whole
will he sacrifice Knight F takes G5, or is that too risky?
Yeah, I think that's a good option. I'm sure that must be winning. The engine would evaluate that as winning, whether he'd actually played that in the game, but he could just drop the bishop back with the idea of H4, softening up the attack and getting an attack for free. But then black would have moves like F5. So this is a critical moment. If you go G5, bishop drops back, you start to play moves like F5 or F6. It's not so clear. He's actually traded. Interesting decision by Conquest. I think his position is not quite as bad as it was, Nick.
He's still a bit short on space, isn't he?
Knight takes H4, yeah. Very unpleasant. Very unpleasant. I prefer G5, Nick, because I think in this position, after Bishop H4, I quite like G5. And then after Bishop G3, but actually...
But Knight F takes G5 is...
If you don't sacrifice, then F5, you're kind of almost back in the game then. So at least you're forcing him into a sacrifice here. He's just got a good position with no risk. So engine is favouring white. It's only given him a +1 for Mickey, but he's got total control over the position. Black to play. It's down to less than 5 minutes. Clock is ticking. Could this be the final game of the 2025 British Chess Championships? Let's hope so. I've been here too long. Okay, King H7, Knight F6 check feels like a good move here.
Queen F3, setting up a cheapo.
Queen F3, Knight. Yeah, but this feels winning now. I don't like King H7 either.
I don't know. I guess he's got to do something.
Yeah, I've been too critical, Stuart. I apologise if Stuart watches. He'll probably have a go at me.
Yeah, he's trying to hit out with F5, so at least he's doing something.
These playoff days are too long. What time is it now? It's almost 6:30, right? We started at 10, so it's like.
Is he looking at Knight G5? Probably too risky.
Sorry. F5.
He's trying to do something.
Yeah, Knight G5 is a try, right?
And if you want to win, you'd play Knight G5. I guess if you're trying to draw, you don't need to risk it.
Yeah. So takes, but still, black is in the game because of this F file, right? It feels like
he's kind of come back a bit actually.
He's come back in this game, Conk, right? This is actually a nice game by Conk, in terms of the comeback. But whether it'll be quite enough to win. Knight D2 is a move. Knight D2 positional. Knight D2, and then just put your rook on E2 and say, look, how are you going to actually improve your position? You might be considering Knight D2. There's also moves like G5, but G5 feel a bit. No, he has got Knight D2. Positional play by Michael Adams. Also, you can put the Knight on E4.
Black will double on the F file. Double stack.
Double stack.
Yeah.
White's going for a triple stack. Black's going for a double stack.
I think Mickey wants to play Queen E4 and just get those queens off.
Wow, Rook F4 by Rook F4. This feels not a lot less clear than it was a few moves ago. He's maybe Michael Adams getting nervous. There's so much history online. It's like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he threatens to blow up the Lost Ark and he says, this is history. Seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Is that like Indiana Jones, is it?
Yeah, everyone's seen that film, yeah. I think it came out in 1979. No, it was 81 maybe. George Lucas directed.
Yeah, I mean, Stuart's probably feeling quite good now, isn't he? He seems to be right back in the game.
Yeah, it's not great play by Adams. Now he's looking a bit more nervous. He's sort of
he's down on time as well.
He's not got that kind of composure there, Adams. He's looking a lot more tense, and Conquest is looking calm. He's looking concentrated. The micro expressions have turned from the first game. Now it's looking a lot more unclear. B3. But if you have to play like a bit of a limp move like B3, it's not really what you want.
Can you go H5?
Yeah, this is what I was saying. Just put your pieces close to your opponent's king. This is game on now. This is seriously game on. We could be looking at an Armageddon, people. So Adams looking very focused. I think he had a tactical wins earlier. But of course, in Blitz, it's very easy to use hindsight. It's very hard to come up with these suggestions during the game, right?
I think he needs to try and play because in the first game, it's when he got really low on time. That's when his quality went down.
Can you go Rook F3?
I didn't like that move.
Oh, so there's Queen E4 at the end. Yeah, no, Rook F3 is not a shocker. I would play a move like H5.
Yeah, maybe give it a go. Was he with Queen G5?
Also reasonable. Yeah, I like Queen G5. Trying to come into H. This is great stuff by Conquest. He's had an amazing day. Even if he loses, he's just had an amazing day. Vityugov is basically a former 2700 player, former Russian champion. He then beat Peter Robertson in a playoff, turned around 2 bad positions. Unbelievable day that he's had.
Can you consider Knight E4 and Queen G? I mean,
yeah, you're suggesting Knight E4. I quite like that. And after Queen H4, Queen G3.
Try and
hit
just
the Queen.
Get the pieces off.
Quite solid, yeah. You need a solid approach here by Michael Adams. It's looking a bit too tense at the moment. You need to get some wood off the board. It's too murky. He's lost control. Knight E4 is a good option. I like that. No, he's played something else. He's played Queen G3. He wants Rook E4, I think, or H4. Not H4 because G4 is hanging, but maybe Knight E4 or Rook.
Maybe Knight E4 next move.
Okay, there is H5 here by black, but I'm not sure if it's very good.
Then maybe Knight E4.
Very unclear, right? And then maybe the Queen. I think I would try H5 anyway. After Knight E4, the Queen could drop back to D8. H5 feels like the move for. Will Conquest find it? Is the top move H5? The top move is C5. Wow, that's obscure. Yeah, you're attacking on the king's side, then you got to find C5 as the best move. I mean, come on. In a blitz game, he's not going to find it. If you find C5, I'll bow down to the conch. I don't think he'll find C5. Hang on.
He's dropped his queen.
He's forgotten where it was now. I mean, he's picked it up. It's gone to A5.
I mean,
right.
that's really out the game.
That's
there.
a weird move. I don't like that move. I think he basically mouse.
He could have put it on D5. He didn't have to go all the way up to A5, did he?
His Queen A5 is weird, but it does hit. It does hit A2. Yeah, kind of weird. This feels like Adams is a bridge too far for Conquest. Somebody predicted on my YouTube channel that Conquest would win in a playoff. Maybe he went A4 and offered a draw. Did he say something there? Surely he didn't offer a draw there.
Stuart wouldn't take it, would he?
Nah. Maybe H5.
Okay, let's come back to D5
Queen
now.
D5, yeah. That's reasonable because C4 is not possible because D4 is hanging. So Queen D5, good option. I want to, at some point, Nick, plonk something on E4. This game's feeling too tense. I need some wood off the board.
But knight E4...
He's gone F3. He's been very cagey. Very good.
He's probably going to
hang on,
E4.
Rook F3. Rook F3. Why not Rook F3 now? This is really, he's really, but the problem is you can't use the knight.
Takes, Queen G2, probably.
You can't use the knight, that's the problem.
Not sure about that.
If your knight could jump into a better square, you'd very much consider Rook F3 here. But your knight is still, this is a problem earlier. When White played G4, your knight got relegated. It's, you know what a knight on G7 is? Actually, there's a term for it. It's called the fianchettoed knight. He's gone Queen C6.
That's interesting.
Hitting the pawn. That's a good try by Stuart Conquest. He's playing this game really well, considering what a bad... You know, we saw that against Roberson. He's very good at turning around bad positions.
So I guess Rook E3.
Rook E3. It's ironic that one position where he had a good position, like the first game, he ended up losing.
Yeah.
You know? Rook E3 is solid by Adams. It's still so hard to beat. Even when you get the advantage, like Conquest seems to be getting in this game, it's still so hard to push Adams over the edge. He's so resilient. I mean, I'd like to maneuver that knight round to a better square, but I don't see a way to do it. I think that's why the computer wanted to go C5 at some point, to sort of create some kind of...
He's just going to A6, B5.
This is too slow by Conquest. I think Adams is going to plan something. Maybe like a G5 at some point. Maybe it's too soon, but...
To go for Queen H4
Queen
ideas,
H4, yeah.
possibly.
Queen H4 threatening Knight G5. And then Knight takes E6. Although, of course,
Queen
F3
H4
was
after Knight G5, Queen H6 is the main plan, yeah? Queen H4. After Queen H4, Knight G5, Queen takes H6 is the main plan.
Yeah.
Just going for mate on H7.
So maybe you have to go G5. Okay, what's Adams? What's
G5, H4 possibly.
Queen D5? Sensible, because now Queen H4 is not. It's gone B4, protecting the pawns. Maybe E5 now, Nick. I'll think about E5, even if it allows this capture. At least then you're thinking about bringing the knight. But of course, when the knight drops bad, then E5 is weak. So probably E5 is a mistake. I find it hard to find ways for Black to improve the position. What's he played? He's gone B5. That makes some sense. But now trade skis. I mean, Adam's starting to look, no, he's gone A5. A little bit like in that game.
The Fernandez game.
Yeah. He's learned from that Fernandez game, yeah. A5.
Would you move your king if you're black, or you just leave it where it is?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'd do. I wouldn't get in this situation. I wouldn't get in this situation when I'm in a playoff with Adams.
You want to play G5 or H5 to try and do something on the king side?
I like G5. I think you've got to do something. Like
G5H is H4 ever annoying?
Rook F7 again. They're playing very slowly, very cagey in this game. They're not really taking any risks. That's understandable given the situation. Maybe King H2 by White just to keep the tension.
I might just put the king on G8. It feels like there's so many checks to be careful
Something
of.
like King H2 or some improvement move. Mickey will be looking for an improvement move. Rook E2, yeah, Rook E2, that's a good improvement move. Not easy to see how Black makes progress here. I don't think Stuart really knows how to make progress, which is understandable. It's not easy to make progress. So a move like Rook E8 followed by E5. At some point you need to get in E5, I think. Just do something.
Unless you try and play for H5, but you need to move your king to do that.
Queen C6. Basically just shuffling around, saying to Adams, what are you going to do? He has gone for this King H2 move. But Stuart is now the one getting short of time, and I think is going to be key in this game.
Queen h4, you have to play Queen d5, don't you?
Yep.
Or there's some, yeah, because actually there might be some, there's no rook f3 tricks there.
He's gone for the knight
sure.
move. Knight d2.
He's just keeping it solid.
The queen d5, knight back. Knight back. He just needs to draw. Stuart needs to find something. I would go rook e8 and e5 just to try and make progress.
I'd probably move my king.
We'll do something. You can't just keep shuffling around with his queen.
His time's getting low.
He's gone for g5. He's taken a risk, but now h4 maybe opening up the position. But h4 fails to takes rook f3, so it's not so simple. But actually, at the end, you have knight f6, so you're probably still doing well. He's found h4. Takes, rook f3, rook f3, rook f3, and then the knight f6 at the end, and you win the exchange. So just show that line. Okay, we're very short of time. He's got more moves on the board.
He just played king g8 now. I think he should have played king g8 earlier.
On king g8, but now trade. Now I think somebody like king g2 is good. He's gone king g2. Rook f4. This is losing now. This is losing.
You'd love to get that knight into f4 as black, wouldn't you?
Why is this losing move? Knight f2 with a threat of knight h3. Very nice play by Adams. Very nice. Beautiful move. Knight f2. Actually, no, it's a blunder, according to the computer. Queen c4.
Oh, he's going for rook takes f3.
Aha, right.
Knight h3, rook takes f3.
Yeah, he's too wily, Adams. He's also an extremely experienced player. He's not going to fall for c5. Okay, knight h3. Let's do something concrete. No, he's taken. At some point, he's going to go knight e4 or knight h3. Maybe knight e4 now.
After knight h3, you might just take on b4, possibly. Because knight
He's
takes...
just taken. Yeah, that makes sense. He's shaking his head.
You can't take it back. Well, you can maybe take it back, knight d3, and then move the queen.
Rook f7. Rook f7. And now knight e4. This is tremendous by Adams. This just looks completely winning.
I think
Queen
rook f7
c6.
was a mistake. Yeah.
Queen d5. Queen d6. Yeah, Adams just needs a draw. Don't forget, Adams just needs a draw. Conquest has to win this horrible position where it's at least one pawn down, and it's not looking good. Queen d5, rook d8. It's just traded queens, of course, as you would. Now, just even a move like c4 takes rook c3 is good. Rook e2, yeah. Threatening rook d2.
You could simplify with knight d6.
Rook
He's
d2
gone for
is sensible. Rook takes d5, knight takes d5. Rook e1, rook f6. It feels like Adams is closing in on a win now. He's completely winning. He's completely winning. Conquest is very short of time. It feels like the 2025 British champion is going to be Michael Adams. Another brilliant win for the Cornish sensation. Rook h1.
Yeah, 9 times British champion.
Unbelievable score. Unbelievable score. You think people like Bodhana or Shreyas will get anywhere near that total? Probably not. But who knows?
I mean, what can Stuart even try here?
Knight d6. I mean, this is almost resignable, right? I mean, the threat is c6, c7, knight d5. Stop that threat. But now rook d1 maybe is one option. Threatening to take.
You could simplify with c4.
Rook d1 he wants. Rook c1. Knight c7, knight e7, c4 at some point.
No, there's no rook f6.
Rook e1.
So he has to play king f6. That's really horrible.
King f6, g5 maybe.
Yeah.
Amongst other ways to win.
Oh, there's another pawn gone. Because he can try to take the a pawn, but knight f5 check and...
Yeah, his Conquest looks resigned to his fate.
Yeah, this looks really bad. It's gone. Oh, what a making.
Well done to Michael Adams. Brilliant win.